We are back. Welcome to Trending with Easy. Thank you so much for tuning in on WOL 1450 AM, where information is power. Also on our website at WOLDCnews.com. Our phone number is 1-800-450-7876, and we have a rack of calls right now. Of course, we are talking about the incidents and the violence last night at the DMV Awards. Go ahead. You are live on the radio. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, let's go, Adam. Who else we got? Go ahead. You're live on the radio. Talk to me, dude. Go ahead. Make your comment, sir. Okay, put him on hold real quick. Let's go to the next caller. Hello, you're on the radio live. Go ahead. WOL. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Okay. Let me ask Natasha about that in just a second. But thank you very much. You know, she brings up a very important question, and I know we're talking about DC hip hop, DMV hip hop, but we also see the same thing in the go-go community as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, from Godzilla, powerful and also true. Can we talk about that a little bit, because there seems to be maybe a little link right there.
Yeah. It's the words.
And it's unfortunate too.
It's the words, the message mixed with the alcohol. Like, let's be completely honest. Like, a lot of go-go bands, the greater go-go bands, never suffer from creativity. They do original music. When you think about the biggest go-go hits of all time, they were original music. R.E. has a string of them. Doing the Butt, which is the biggest one. The latest big hit we had, maybe like recent, was Sexy Lady. All original music. A lot of the music that the go-go's are taking sometimes, they're taking the bridge, the most negative part, stuff that of course I couldn't say here on the Easy Stroke. And these are, I'm a former middle school teacher, so my 7th and 8th grade young women or young men are coming repeating these hooks. And even if we listen to our local stations at times, the things that they're saying that they're allowing on the radio, the message. Mm-hmm. So if they're covering the Trey Songz song, that's feeding into my young people, 7th, 8th graders. I invented this, I invented that act. So they singing that. The same thing with the Go-Go's. If I die for my brothers who's next to me, of course using the N-word, right, but I die for them, I ride for them. And this is what you thinking, influenced by our sponsors, and normally who's sponsoring these events time and time again. Anytime we lose a sponsor at these big events, we can always find an alcohol sponsor. So we sponsor by alcohol. You got the pretty ladies walking around giving away these kind of drinks, and all these venues are they putting us up front. We're drinking their product, we're promoting them, we're making it look good. Our rappers put in the video, and then at the same time we're preaching just all the negative things you can think of. Go kill that man, lay down with that lady, you know, have multiple ladies. Anything you say, and you feeding this into somebody's mind, and you see it when they're not no longer, when they don't have the music no more. They're walking around with this energy. Our young people walk. I know you look at some young people in the streets and be like, you scared to talk to them. It's a disconnect generationally. We're not scared.
So what you're saying is there's a direct link between the messages that we're receiving and our behavior.
Yes, nobody's being socially responsible. When Tupac did it, he covered the whole gambit. He might talk about negativity because it's present. I'd be lying if I said that stuff didn't go on. I didn't know about it. But he also talked about, look, my mama's struggling over here. What's your little brother reading level?
There was some balance.
It was balanced. So we had to bring the balance back because it gives us consciousness. So those brothers who was in there fighting last night, they had the consciousness to know, I ain't got to throw this punch. If I'm with 6 brothers, nobody can say that we ain't got to fight him. I heard what he said, brothers chill. So nobody has no sense, you know? And that's where we at. We had to become socially responsible with it.
Natasha Brown, of course, with Think Brown Inc. I have to ask you this question. The caller alluded to the age limit. Was there an age limit on the event last night?
There was no age limit enforced.
So were there young people there? I mean, teenagers, they were there?
I believe so. And I think that even, like we had vendors, I think that some of the vendors even, you know, brought their children there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there were kids there. Mm-hmm. Now, talk to me about, you know, moving forward. I know, I mean, because we talked about this, and, you know, of course, I've been praying for you. We texted last night when I heard about all this stuff that was going on. You know, where do we go from here? We have identified the problem. I think we should go ahead and move into the portion of the conversation where we're talking about solutions and moving forward. In your mind, Natasha, what do we need to do? What do we need to do to make things better and move forward as a community, and especially as a hip hop community?
I really think, number one, promoting the fact of self-respect and community respect, and just being respectful and basically not supporting people. You know what I mean? And there were talks of who started fights and who were actually fighting. And yeah, they were, I mean, from what I hear, you know, actual artists, their crews, and the ones who they were, you know, they were...
And we're not going to shout them out. Their
No.
names will not be mentioned
No.
because we're not going to give you any free permission for messing up our beloved.
Right. And if those reports are correct, those people were misbehaving the entire time, were disrespectful the entire time to me, to my staff, to the other staff who were there at the registration table on the red carpet in the event. So it's disrespectful, and if people stop supporting these artists and stop making it seem like it's good and it's, you know, it's actually, I don't know, something that we enjoy, then these things won't happen. People need to be respectful. Also, you know, we didn't think about this on the committee, or we didn't talk about it, but enforcing dress codes and standards. People have to go to their workplace dressed a certain way, you know, not jeans, not tennis shoes. And so next year, the planners of the awards need to think about a dress code, and think about an age limit, think about just certain things, you know. More security. There are definitely solutions, and I think it's bigger than the awards. It's bigger than last night. It's about the entire community. It's about respect at the end of the day.
You know what? I just want to say this before we go to Lyric and take some phone calls at 1-800-450-7876. That's our phone number. We would love for you to come in and make some comments on the show. But there is going to, and I'm going to speak it into prophecy right now. There is going to be a 6th annual DMV Music Awards. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen.
All right.
We're going to do it again. If I got to put it on my back myself, and I will, you know, it's going to happen again. Will there be controls? Will we look at some issues that need to be looked at to make it better? Yes, we will do that. But I'm telling you right now, on this date, here in the year of our Lord, 2011, it's going to go down again next year. You can believe that. Go ahead, Lyric.
You know what, Easy? I'm sitting around here, I'm listening to all the comments, but I'm getting angry. Yeah, okay, everybody should take responsibility, but it starts in the home. I'm a parent. My child cannot go to certain events because things might happen, but I also instill in her the way she needs to act when she's in public. Right. You need to be a productive citizen when you grow up. She may be mad and angry and don't understand it because she's 16. But what you need to do is instill in your children, hey, this is not how we act. This is not what we're going to do. They may not understand it, but they'll appreciate it later. That way, when you walk into society, that you know how to act and we don't have these problems. I think it starts at home, too.
There it is. Very true. Thank you. And I'm in on that. Camille, we have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay. I agree with Lyric. I just want to say that, it starts with raising a village. You know, it takes a village to raise a child. And I think that we have to catch these people as young people, really, because angry adults spawn angry children.
Yes,
You know, it's
yes.
an endless vicious cycle. So I go back to Truth's point that again the societal responsibility is important, but again we have to catch these people when they are young. We have to instill values in them. We have to instill societal norms, what is expected when you go into public. We have to put that into them at a young age. You can't mold an oak tree. You got to start when they're
I
sapling.
know that's
Love
right.
that right there. All right, when we come back, we're going to speak to Ivan Cloud in 4 minutes. He works with the Alliance of Concerned Men, and he's going to talk to us about some of the things that are going on in his organization. Again, our phone number is 1-800-450-7876. We call this Trending with Easy on 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
You know what the ironic part about it?
All right, we're back. Our phone number, 1-800-450-7876. Of course, online at WOLDCnews.com. Our guests in the building, Camille, Ivan, Lyric, Jose. Also, the group, Godzilla, congratulations on the big win. And also, our good friend, Natasha, that helped put together the... I was about to say the BET Awards. Put together the DMV Awards. Now, Ivan, you work with the Alliance of Concerned Men, and you had something that you wanted to say. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to piggyback on. It starts at home, but the biggest issue at home is you have some of the parents in these type of events and venues showing off and acting very immature.
Or in the home.
In the home.
Combative relationships right in front of the kids.
Right. And what we do at the Alliance of Concerned Men, we basically venture out into different low-income communities, and we work with parents and their children trying to mediate whatever's taking place in the home. And it's becoming very effective, but I think the issue is that how can we get the parents to step up, because a lot of these parents are scared of their own kids. How can we get the parents to step up and play the role as an adult and direct their children in the right way and give them consequences? I know a couple of weeks ago, one of our participants, he brought home a gun, and his mom called, and you know what she did? She called the police, and she got him arrested, and that's holding him accountable for his actions. Now, I just want to say, do we have enough parents out here to actually step up and take control of their home? Because a lot of kids are running their own homes.
Can't have that. All right. Phone calls, and Jose, we'll come back after the phone calls and talk to you first, okay? At 1-800-450-7876. Go ahead. You're on live. Uh-oh. Right, we've seen that over and over and over again. Thank you so much for your comment, okay? Look forward to having you on the show as a panelist as well. Next call, go ahead, Adam. Thank you, sir. Okay, we need to cut that down in the background. Okay, hello? Yeah, I need you to cut that music down in the background, please. She's playing hustle hard.
Yeah, she's trying to get on.
She got Ace Hood. Closed mouths don't get fed on the boulevard, right? Okay, go ahead with your comment, please. Right. Okay, thank you so much for your call. Appreciate that. Let me just say this, and I want to get you in here again, Natasha. You know, I want to commend you and congratulations, because I heard a lot of good stuff too. I mean, we're talking about the end result, but I think the intent of this event is incredible. Incredible. So I know you are in your feelings about it, and that's okay. I would be too, but you know, like Mary says, 24 hours, and you're gonna be all right. But moving forward, talking about solutions, what do we need to do to make this happen again in 2012 in your mind?
Well, number one, I think there needs to be support. That's the first thing. There is a community. There's something that people aren't talking about this whole issue. There are a lot of cliques in DC. Do you know what I mean? In the DMV, and there are certain people who support certain initiatives and people, and others who support other initiatives and people and venues and efforts, and that goes a lot. That speaks to the fact that people are looking at the people who are putting it together versus the entire movement versus the actual vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people need selfishness, and everyone's so out for self, basically.
Me instead of we.
Yeah, it crabs in a barrel. And so I really think that people need to start looking at the overall vision, and if you're in understanding that if you aren't a part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. This year there were no excuses for anyone not to get involved in every part of the process. We've reached out to so many people to be power players, to vote, to, you know, be on the judging panel, to come, to be presenters, and we got so many no's. We got a lot of yeses, you know what I mean? But there were so many no's, and it's because they put their nose down at this event. Do you know what I mean? Because they are looking at if they have a problem with this person that's involved or this person that's involved, then they don't want to support the whole event. When in actuality, your artist is being awarded, or your song is being, congratulated. There were so many people who weren't there to accept their own awards last night, and that's a shame. And I feel like that's the number one issue. For it to happen in 2012, people need to start supporting.
Right. Stop the hate, man. I mean, come on. Come on. Stop the hate. Ridiculous. One thing that I will say, the promo of this event was incredible. You guys saturated the DMV area with different radio stations and the media being there. You did a really good job in the marketing and promotion of that. I got to give my girl right here.
And I can't take all the credit. Thanks to the IGBC and Dre All Day and everybody else who supported. We had a PR committee of people who they got on the ball. Tiffany Young and Vivian, the boss lady for PR, and I mean, so many people helped out. DJ Heat was so supportive. I mean, even you guys, Godzilla. I mean, so many people got behind this year's program, which is so sad to see it end the way it did, because this was the year that we had the most support from the community, the most support from sponsors, the most support from participants and nominees, and that's because we really tried to reach out to everybody. Right. And it was bigger than one person or two people or Natasha or whatever. It was bigger. It was a bigger vision, and it's so sad that a lot of the newcomers who were there, and they didn't see that. You don't see those things. You look at, oh, that's the DMV Awards, blah, 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 and this awards is ghetto, and da-da-da-da. But guess what? Why is it ghetto? I mean, are you a high-class person? Are you coming to the event? You don't come, you help make it worse. You know what I mean? You don't support, you help make it worse. So shout out to everybody who supported.
There you go. All right, go ahead. Jose. That's the only thing I know how to say.
I'm going to teach you more, man.
Exactly. Work on that.
One word I want to put emphasis on is enable. Okay? At home, when we talked about this, is you need to be more positive with your kids. Show love conquers hate. Okay?
Yes, amen.
When you show your kids love, that's what they're going to preach, and they're going to show everybody else love. Right. So there's not enough of that. And Godzilla, Truth and Powerful, they spoke others. They're hearing all that negativity. There's no other balance. I mean, that's all they hear. They don't hear, the positive. You watch the news, it's all negative. negative new information. Then you got your kids being raised by videos, by TV, and instead of playing outside. When I was growing up, all I did was play outside. You know, man. And now you go around and you see empty basketball courts.
Right.
You don't see kids playing outside. They're being raised by television.
They're playing Xbox.
Exactly.
And what's the game? That game Ops.
Exactly. Black Ops.
I'm not trying to
But there's no
disrespect
interaction
you, but,
at
you know,
home. There's no interaction at home.
That's a whole nother show right there. But I mean, look at it. We're talking about violence, so look at what those games.
Desensitized.
You're not resolved. You're not sitting down and saying, "Hey, you know what? I got a problem with you. So let's resolve this issue." No, you're shooting. You're shooting bullets. All right. We got 1 minute. We got comments on Facebook. Trending with Easy on Facebook. Go ahead, Sharice.
We have a lot of comments, but I'll just take two. Letitia says that it starts at home because when you walk out the front door, you're representing your family, your church, your job, your school, and your entire race of people. And then Spring the Dream on Twitter says, change our mindset, bottom line. And we talked about that a little bit off the air, like what is in your mind? What are you thinking about? Because we know that thoughts become things. So if you having all these violent thoughts in your mind, you're going to act out on them. And I can't wait till we talk about the daddy issue because I wonder how many people who was throwing bottles and throwing chairs around have those kind of issues. So that's something we need to continue to talk about.
Precisely. I'm glad you brought that up. We will revisit the whole daddy issue show in the coming weeks, but I thought that it was imperative that we dealt with this issue today. Adam, do you have any final comments, or are we out of time here, man? Right. Well, I tell you what, thank you so much for that comment right there. And, you know, I hate to. I try to remain positive in everything that I do, but whoever the individuals are that are the perpetrators of putting that hate out there, I'm going to tell you straight off the top, I don't know who the people are. And if you notice, we didn't say any names, and we're not going to say any names. But if I find out that you on it like that, I'm going to tell you right now, I can't support you as a radio personality, and I will make sure. You know, and this is just how I operate. I can't get involved with promoting cats that I know that, you know, got ill will. Excuse me. People that are out there trying to, you know, I don't want to say purposely destroy major events like this, but you want to be petty like that? I mean, come on. I think that Natasha touched on something I think is very important, that if there are individuals that are out there with that type of mentality, then we shouldn't support them. Period.
Bingo.
That's right.
Period. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
And that's how we end that. Natasha, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
We will see you next year. Yes, we are going to do it again. We will do it again. And make sure that you keep listening to this show to find out more information. Follow on Twitter. What's your Twitter so everyone can know what's going on with you?
At N Brown INK and Think Brown INK is the company. Thank you.
All right. Godzilla, give me your Twitter real quick. Let's go around the room and be out.
At Godzilla, GODSILLA.
Also catch us at the UAU Open Mic. That's THEUAUOPENMIC.
All right. Ivan, go ahead.
Well, I don't have a Twitter, but you can hit me up on the Lines of Concernment on your Facebook. Just go ahead and put it in the text and the keyword.
Okay, quickly, let's go. We got a couple seconds here.
Hey, Lyric Hawkins on Facebook and at Lyric Diamond 2 on Twitter.
All right. Jose.
On the Twitter, J_Panama on Twitter, and then you can also catch me on NameClick and NAMECLIQ.com.
Okay.
And Camille on Twitter at Milsand1. That's MILSAND and the number 1. Talk to you soon.
All right, go ahead.
Sharice Avenue on Facebook and Savvy Sharice on Twitter.
All right, thank you to all of our panelists, all of our guests. Of course, Trending with Easy. We'll see you next week, 4 p.m. right here on WOL, where information is power.